HM and Big E, we are past our 100 subscriber milestone. We have a giveaway for that, so thank you for watching with us. Please check out that giveaway and comment your favorite video. But here we are today. The Oscar nominations have come out.
Yes. And
this is kind of what we're titling our Best Picture or Oscar kind of overview, our guide, sort of. We don't know. We've seen, between the two of us, actually, I think you have seen.
I've seen
even
9 out of 10 Best Pictures.
Yeah, and I've seen a few of them, and so we just want to kind of talk through the Best Pictures and kind of give a brief overview of them, whether you might like them, whether you should check them out. There are some really good movies and some not so great movies. So let's talk about them.
Sure. Yeah.
All right,
Take it away.
Yeah, so we have 10 Best Picture nominations, which, I mean, we won't even get into that too much, but it should be 5.
It really should be 5.
There's, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are just...
Nope, they're
not gonna win.
Yeah, they show up, they dress up in their costume, you know, their outfits, and they get some praise, but definitely they won't win.
Okay, so the first movie we're going to talk about in alphabetical order, I think, is All Quiet on the Western Front. This was released on Netflix. You watched this movie. I did not, so please take it away.
It is a World War I movie.
Yeah.
And it follows the story of one person who goes through the war. And it's very typical. Now, World War I was basically trench warfare. World War II was not, but World War I was trench warfare. So it really captures that well. It's well shot.
Yeah.
But it is a war movie. You know, it starts off with them deciding that they want to go and fight in the war, and then obviously they see the realities of war, and they're all broken and battered, and it's quite depressing toward the end. But it's a German movie. It's in German, so you watch it with subtitles. Yeah. But it's a well done movie.
Yeah. I heard it's beautifully shot.
It is beautifully shot. It reminds me of 1917, where they have the long shots and real special effects, right, blended with probably some CGI.
Right.
But it's well acted. You know, what can you say?
So generally, if you're a fan of war movies, would you enjoy this? Like, this is it fits
but
well
again,
in that genre.
World War I, so it really is about running around in trenches, and it's really gross and dirty, and it is a little bit, you know, gory. There are violent scenes. Obviously, it's a war movie, so they don't hold back on that. And then you have to, you know, kind of go through that journey with the main character.
All right. Should this have been in the top 5 if it was 5?
I would probably say no. I can see it hits enough of the Oscar, you know, Best Picture little beats where
prestige film.
Yes, moments, exactly. It really does remind me of 1917, except this one is really not. You know, in that movie, that main character is going everywhere, but this movie is you're stuck in the trench.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't watch that, so I have no comment on there. So the next movie of the 10 Best Pictures is Avatar: Way of Water.
Now this is definitely not in the top 5 or not top 10. I don't know how this made it in. James Cameron has the golden touch. People were saying before Avatar 2 released, oh, this is not might do so well.
I was saying that.
You were saying that. But it's past $2 billion.
It's the 4th highest grossing right now.
It looks like they're going to make number 3, 4, and 5 now. If Fast and Furious can make 10, Avatar can easily make 5.
Yes. So I still haven't seen this movie. And I know, again, it's not really for lack of wanting. It's just 3 hours is a long time for a so-so plot movie, but I hear the effects are incredible.
Yeah, it should win on, you know, editing, effects, and all that stuff. I still maintain that if you buy into the CGI world, the fact that this whole movie is CGI, then you'll love it. But there are a lot of scenes where I felt that you could have gone on location to Hawaii and done the same scene with real water. But I understand it's mythical. What can I say? It's a blockbuster movie. I did feel like I was in the theater the entire day when I walked out. It was dark. But it definitely should not be a Best Picture.
All right. And so number 3, I think we're getting into better territory here alphabetically. The Banshees of Inisherin.
Well, why don't you talk about this one? You like this one a little bit more than me.
I did. I put this on my top 5 of the year, and so I definitely think it should be in the top 5 if it was 5 for Best Picture. I think it was obviously very, very well acted. And beautifully shot on location, and again, a lot of those practical things makes a difference. As good as CG usually is, sometimes our brains are very good at picking up things that aren't real. But this one is shot, and it's great. I really like the kind of humor. I think Colin Farrell did very well, and I always forget the name of the other guy.
Brendan Gleeson.
Gleeson, thank you. Yeah, I thought they were excellent, and even the Best Supporting Actress.
Barry
Keoghan is the supporting actor. The supporting actress.
Oh, I don't know her name.
She was excellent too. Anyway, I thought all the cast was really, really good. This is a dark comedy sort of drama. It's. I don't know what kind of film I would liken it to in terms of it's a dark comedy. It's a dark comedy. If you like dark comedies,
it definitely is a dark comedy, and when I watched it, I thought this would get into the Oscar Best Picture category because it has good acting. It has the scenery is good, but I don't know the story. The Oscar winners are never that happy. The story's never that happy.
Oh yeah, this isn't very happy.
It's not very happy. So I think I'm gonna predict there's gonna be some wins for this movie.
I think it is don't quote me. Oh, it might not be. It's one of the most nominated films this year.
Well, the actors alone are in all of them. So I mean, it's 3 or 4 actors. So I think one of them is going to win.
Right. Oh, for sure.
And I'm going to cheer for Colin Farrell. I think he's done incredible work in the last 5 years, and it's time for him to be recognized for that.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Number 4, another movie I haven't seen. I haven't seen so many of these, although I think the other ones will be a bit better. But this is Elvis.
Oh.
If the Best Picture nominees was 30 movies, would it make it?
I really did not like this movie. Partly, and there's a little bit of background, is my mom is a huge Elvis fan, so I know a lot about Elvis. I'm so glad that I was not named Elvis because I was born 3 years after his death. My mom cried like a baby when he died in 1977, 3 years before I was born. But I really didn't like this movie. I felt like the whole way of telling the story was wrong. They went from the Tom Hanks character tell it. I really did not like Tom Hanks in this movie. His accent was really weird and off, and it was really just sounding like Tom Hanks pretending to be this guy. And it's told from his point of view. I think Austin Butler does a commendable job, but I still think he doesn't even look like Elvis. I mean, his facial features don't look like him. So I had a really hard time believing in this story, and I didn't like this movie at all. I think it was stylized. They really went in a different direction, but I think Elvis could have been the typical biopic that I think probably could have been a little bit more interesting, but it's quite stylized, and I know they were going for the so-called energy of that era, right? But they didn't tell enough of the tragedy behind his story, and I don't think this should be a top 10. I think Austin Butler I could see him getting the nod because he does really get into character with his voice, his mannerisms, his singing. Right. But definitely this should not be top 5.
Well, that's Elvis. And the 5th one is...
I love Elvis, but I really didn't like this movie.
5th one is Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie ticked all the boxes for me. The absurd humor, the kind of sci-fi homage to kind of, those old classic sci-fi action movies, kung fu movies. The acting performances were great. If I had to pick one movie... as my prediction, or not prediction necessarily, of who I think should win, I actually think it should be Everything. Not necessarily because, I think it gets extra credit in my mind because it's trying something so different.
And I was about to say, it is so different than the rest of this list that you have to reward that creativity. Now, is this the Chinese Parasite?
Right,
where they're foreign film, and that's not a foreign film, but it's about... it's an Asian family. And Ke Huy Quan is definitely going to win supporting actor. He's just been winning everything, and it's a feel good story. He was out of it because he felt there wasn't a lot of roles for Asians, and he comes back with this, and he's been winning everything. And they really should give it that to him, and then give Brendan Fraser the best actor, the underdog, down on the luck kind of story. That's true, right? That type of thing. But what's there to say about this movie? We did say months ago ago when we reviewed this movie that if it gets a nom, we could predict that it could win big. And all the actors are nominated, including Jamie Lee Curtis, who I think
and Stephanie Hsu.
Yeah, but I think Jamie Lee has been in movies for 40 years. I think she deserves it. She deserves it. You know, she did a great job in this movie. I think she was standout for me.
She looked like she was having so much fun.
And she had fun, and I think this movie, I would predict, will win the Best Picture.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would do that. I think it should.
Look, it's going against Elvis.
I know.
Okay, so it's going to beat Elvis for sure.
Okay, so if there was only 5 nominations, both of us agreed this would definitely make it. Check out this movie if you haven't. Okay, number 6. Ooh, back into snooze fest territory. The Fabelmans.
Ooh,
I'm sorry. This is so highly regarded. I mean, Steven Spielberg, obviously, such a big part of our childhoods growing up.
Of course, yeah.
And he's a great director. This movie, maybe I'm just not an intelligent enough movie viewer to appreciate
this. This is the Belfast of this year.
No, I enjoyed Belfast a little more than this. This is the licorice pizza of this year. Just kind of... like for 90% of the movie, what is happening? This is so. I really didn't like it at all. I know some of the acting was, Paul Dano, Michelle Williams, Seth Rogen was.
I heard a description. Michelle Williams acted like Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
And I think Paul Dano does a commendable job. But I always picture him as the Riddler. It's like a Riddler origin story. I have to agree with you. I was thoroughly bored throughout this movie. I was waiting for the turning point where something would happen, it would tie the story together, and they would have to go on a new journey. But nothing really did happen, and I'm not even sure the point of this movie.
I know
it's a sort of what do you call that? Kind of a self-biopic kind of movie.
Yeah. It's semi-autobiographical. It's not even like that. We're like, we need all our movies to be breakneck pace, and like we like slice of life and kind of character study movies. Decision to Leave was one of them in your top 5, and it's a very slow, deliberate movie. But I was so bored with this.
I don't think, again, it should be top 5 or top 10. I think it moves in that category because of Spielberg himself.
I know.
Because of his prestige and his acclaim. I really didn't like this movie. If you haven't watched it, please tell us if we missed the point, because at the end I thought the last maybe 10 minutes something was going to happen and nothing really happens, and it rolls the credits. And I thought it was sort of a setup for another movie, right?
If you liked Licorice Pizza from last year, Paul Anderson, you would like this, I think. Actually, off camera, our guest contributor Rob really liked this movie. He's had top 5 for him.
No, I don't trust Rob anymore. But yeah, I was just joking.
But yeah, let us know if we're wrong on this. But both of us think that if it was 5 movies, we would not include.
I think this is going to be shut out. I don't think it's going to win anything.
Really? Bold predictions here. Hot takes.
You got to.
Hot takes. Okay. Number 7 is Tar. Tar, Cate Blanchett. I really like this movie.
Again, one of those ones I think you like more than me.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, so this is to counter. Maybe it's not to counter that point, but this is a character study. This is a 3-hour character study of this person who has power and kind of what she does with it and kind of what mental state she's in. I knew nothing going into it, and the movie kind of took a different turn halfway through, which I thought was really exciting. I really like this movie. Cate Blanchett honestly knocked it out of the park. Before I saw this movie, I thought no one would come close to Michelle Yeoh being nominated and deserving to win the Best Actress, but it's between her.
I didn't like it as much as you.
Yeah,
but you're right. It is a character study, a sort of Shakespearean tragedy in some ways.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, Cate Blanchett should win the Oscar for this. I'm going to predict that she will win over Michelle Yeoh.
Oh.
Yeah. But Michelle Yeoh is the underdog, and people do want to see her win.
Yes.
Cate Blanchett, has she won an Oscar? I feel like she's
I'm guessing she
been
has.
Nominated 8 times.
I'm guessing she has.
Maybe look it up, but she's almost every role that she does is amazing. So I'm not surprised that Tar is another standout performance for her. Has she?
Yes, she has won multiple times.
Okay, well,
she's won Best Actress in 2014 for Blue Jasmine, and 2005 for The Aviator, a supporting actress. So she's
okay. So it's going to go to Michelle Yeoh. That's my prediction, unless it's a real snub and they're like, no, we're going to give it to Cate Blanchett for the 3rd time. Yeah, but I think it's going to be Michelle Yeoh.
I mean, for me, I obviously liked it enough. But if it was 5 movies in the Best Picture, would this make the cut? In your 5 Best Picture list?
I think so because again it hits all the Oscar,
the Oscar
beats,
prestige.
right? Like Elvis, Top Gun, they're like big blockbuster type of movies. They're not going to win.
Well, that moves us on to number 8, Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, my movie of the year. Movie sucked in terms of a lot to last year. I think in terms of just this depressing and all the depressing movies. But Top Gun Maverick hits every checkbox for a lot of people. It's not going to win. I think that's my prediction. It won't win anything. Maybe cinematography or something.
I don't think it was nominated for cinematography, which is crazy.
So, no, it's nominated for music. Right?
Yeah. The Gaga
Lady
song?
Gaga song.
Yeah.
She'll probably perform it. I'm going to guess she performs it. She's such a big star, right?
This movie was so, like, pure entertainment. This is what movies are about. Between this and Everything All at Once, this is like, these are movie-going experiences. Exactly. Watching that at home, even on a big TV, is not the same. No. We watched this on IMAX and, AVX. Oh, man. Yeah. It was good. No, we watched IMAX.
I watched AVX the day after.
Oh, you watched it twice. I see. Yeah. Yeah, Top Gun Maverick. If you haven't seen it yet, you may be the minority because this movie
this is an Oscar
made a lot of money.
This is an Oscar prediction. I feel like this list, half of this list, is just to get people to tune into the Oscars. Top Gun, Elvis, and Avatar are not going to win.
Yeah.
Right, they're blockbuster type of movies. They're accessible, and they're Elvis is a little bit depressing, but the other two, I just think it's not going to. I don't see a point in putting this on the list.
I don't think
are they going to put Mission Impossible on the list or Fast and Furious 10 and Vin Diesel wins for Best Actor? It's not. It's kind of pointless. I'd rather they put Tom Cruise as the actor rather than the movie.
Would you pick Tom Cruise for a nom over Austin Butler?
Yes, because I really didn't like that movie. But he knocks it out of the park as Pete Mitchell.
All right, number 9. Oh, this is Fabelman's Part 2, really, in terms of just didn't like get it. Movie. Triangle of Sadness is the 9th nominee for Best Picture. I did not like, I would say even maybe 5 minutes of this movie. I didn't, I get it. I thought it was very heavy-handed. I get that it's satire. It didn't work for me.
It worked at all. It worked better for me. I know you like Banshees better, but I like this one more.
I actively dislike this movie.
Okay.
Like Fabelman's, I was just bored. I really dislike this movie.
This is your licorice pizza.
Yes.
I was okay with this movie. Again, I cannot see this being top 5, top 10.
It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes.
I actually think the biggest problem with Triangle of Sadness is I don't think there was a main character. I didn't think it was told through someone's story. There were two main
characters who were not interesting.
But they're not really that interesting. No, it's an ensemble cast.
I know that first segment of the movie where it's about the two of them.
Yeah, that should have been cut.
I don't get it. I don't get this.
They should have started on the cruise ship. On the boat. Right? So it was. I mean, everybody does an admirable job, but if you don't like this type of humor, which is this kind of dry, I wouldn't say it's British humor. What is it? I don't know. You're not going to like this movie.
I don't know. It's on the posters. There's that woman kind of vomiting, and is that humor?
Well, they exaggerated that vomiting scene
for 10 minutes.
There was a lot of vomiting. I guess people were laughing in the theaters.
Were they? Oh my goodness! Maybe if I had watched this in theaters.
I did chuckle because it was so extreme. I know you don't like that kind of nasty humor, so whatever.
So that's 9. 10 we actually can't talk about because neither of us have seen it. 10 is Women Talking, a fairly highly regarded movie. It's on this list. We don't know. We haven't seen it. Rob, do you have any comments on Women Talking, the movie?
No, just looking forward to it.
Looking forward to seeing it.
I heard it's pretty much exactly what the title is. It's a play.
Yeah, about, again, these dark, serious matters and very Oscar baity kind of, prestige kind of type thing.
Yeah. So if I were to look at that list, it's clear that there are certain Oscar typical nominations, and then there are the big blockbusters that are just put on this list.
The movie. Remember that movie that you watched and you really liked, that's on here too. See how relevant we are?
They want views on the Oscar. Like, they just had the Grammys, and it does not even get close to...
viewership in general.
It's just going down, so they need big stars and big movies, and that's why they have these top 10 lists. Anyways.
So that's our overview of our top 10 best pictures. I want to highlight quickly the nominations for best animation, best feature animation.
Okay.
I've actually seen all 5. Actually, I haven't seen all 5. I lie. But the 5 nominees are Turning Red, which we reviewed. I thought it was okay, good movie. Sea Beast on Netflix, which I thought was a surprisingly good movie.
Pirate movie.
A pirate movie with Carl Urban. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which I haven't seen, which I heard is beautiful because of stop motion. And then no, not Turning Red. What was the... Puss in Boots? Did you just watch Puss in Boots?
I did watch Puss in Boots.
Surprisingly good.
It's good. It's great. You know, animated movies are not a lot to choose from.
And then the 5th one, the reason I wanted to bring it is because of this first one, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Oh, yeah.
I watched that. It's not really animation. I mean, there's animation because the shell and those characters are there, but it's mostly shot in the real world. I really enjoyed this movie. I watched it with my kids, and the kids enjoyed it well enough. But I thought it was like a family movie, but it's not. It's appropriate for families, but it talks about really deep, subjects and the idea of what makes a true community.
Here's my question: why is not Avatar in that list?
I know. That's what they were saying, that Avatar is more animated than Marcel the Shell.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are weird lists that they compile. Like, if you're talking about animation, Avatar is 3 hours of pure animation. Like, they have 1 or 2 human characters.
Well, and there's 1 or 2 human characters in this. That's our overview, and I just wanted to highlight that one. If you haven't seen or heard about this movie, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, I think it's pretty short. It's an hour and a half or something like that. It's kind of a mockumentary style, but it's kind of goes into very poignant, deep, meaningful territory. It's nice. It's a touching movie. Well worth a watch. But aside from that, we have, let's say, 5 movies in the best pictures that are worth a watch, and maybe 5.
So in conclusion and summary, what are you predicting is going to win? You said...
I want everything to win. Everything.
But what do you think is going to win? Triangle Sadness.
No, I don't think Triangle Sadness. I think it might go to Banshees or Fabelmans, which is upsetting.
I'm going to predict everything is going to win.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it wins, especially over those 2.
All right. Well, have you seen Women Talking? Have you seen the other 9 that we've seen and discussed here? Are we completely wrong on Triangle of Sadness? Maybe it is your best movie. On Letterboxd, a couple of the friends that I follow rated it like 5 stars. And it's like the best movie ever.
It's going to be either hate or love.
I just don't get it. So if we're wrong, let us know. Let us know what you would pick as the best picture winner. But yeah, until next episode, keep watching things. We are now also just starting and exploring and putting these episodes on podcasts. You'll see the link below for Spotify, Apple, and Google podcasts. So if you want to just listen to us without looking at our beautiful faces, that's an option for you now too.
It was an idea from one of our subscribers who said that he likes listening to it in the car, so he'd rather just do that instead of the YouTube.
Doesn't want to see our faces.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's it. And until next episode, keep watching things. You're supposed to say
like and subscribe because it is great when you do.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay.